Can a narcissist change? A narcissist can change, but it is unlikely that they will. The most prominent quality of someone with narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic tendencies is that they are very single-minded, often believing that they are never in the wrong. They are stubborn and steadfast in their views of the world, themselves, and the people around them. So how do you get someone who is controlling and thinks they are always right to change their tendencies or even want to change them in the first place? With narcissistic personality disorder, we are dealing with a personality and not a situation or circumstance. Changing a personality, which is a construct of characteristics and qualities that develop through experience, is extremely difficult. The change has to be their idea. In other words, convince the narcissist to want to change, and then you can help if needed, but they must do the changing alone. The motivation itself is the most crucial step toward change. If the narcissist doesn't have a reason to want to change, then change is unlikely to occur. When people with narcissistic personality disorder will make changes to their behavior if there are perceived benefits. The problem has never been that narcissists cannot change. The problem is that the narcissist is generally unwilling to change. Changing a behavior means that the narcissist must admit that their behavior is wrong. Generally, they are unwilling or unable to do that. The process for change involves the narcissist's ability to understand that their own actions are creating their negative feelings. They must hate how the behavior makes them feel so much that they don't want to feel that way anymore. They must be able to understand that this behavior is a choice they are making. They must be able to recognize when the choice is being made and make a different one, even when they are upset. The motivation is always a selfish and internal one. It has nothing to do with other people, which is why appealing to a narcissist generally will not work. Telling them how much they are hurting you or upsetting you does not sway them. Many of the narcissist behaviors are deeply ingrained habits and patterns. They gave themselves permission years ago to act the way they do, and this permission was reinforced by enablers around them. In this way, they are like children. If the behavior is rewarded, it will be repeated. Narcissists that throw fits or become violent have likely been that way their entire lives. It's what they do when they are upset. This behavior is second nature to them by now, and it has been reinforced by the fact that it worked in whatever way they need it to work. Narcissists simply react a lot of the time. They are impulsive and careless. Even when they seem to be planning schemes and manipulations, they are simply reacting to a need or want they have without thinking about the consequences of what they are doing. These things don't matter. All that matters is need and want. The narcissist doesn't care about what you think of their behavior. They live behind Teflon armor, and your feelings, accusations, and complaints can't touch them. In order for narcissists to be motivated to change their behavior, they have to dislike their own behavior and the way it makes them feel so much that they don't want to feel that way anymore. And they have to be able to remain focused on that even when they are upset. This is the only thing that will motivate a narcissist to change something they are doing, their own feelings. They have to realize their own behavior is the problem before they can stop doing it. Narcissists do understand right from wrong. They just don't believe they did anything wrong because they have reasons, and those reasons are always feelings. The problem is always somebody else causing feelings in them. This is of course, not true. People are responsible for their own feelings and their reactions to those feelings. Narcissists see themselves as simply reacting to things that are happening to them rather than as someone who is in control of things happening. As long as this is true, behavior is very difficult to change. In order to change negative or abusive behavior, the narcissist must first be able to understand that their own actions are creating their negative feelings. Secondly, they must hate how the behavior makes them feel so much that they don't want to feel that way anymore. Thirdly, they must be able to understand that this behavior is a choice they are making. And fourth, they must be able to recognize when the choice is being made and make a different one, even when they are upset. Their disorder was created as a way to prevent them from taking unreasonable blame and criticism as children, but has deformed and evolved into something that will not let them take responsibility for anything as adults. They also have serious issues with impulse control, controlling their emotions, and self-control in general. These are all things that make even just recognizing, let alone changing problem behaviors, extremely difficult. In the end, the task is just too great for many of them. So the answer is yes, narcissists can change their behavior. Since narcissism is a spectrum, some may have an easier time than others. But holding your breath, waiting for them to want to do it, is usually not advisable. It took them years to get into this pattern, and it can take years to get out of them. Many never make it. And even if they do change some of their behavior, they are still narcissists. They can no more change this than they can grow 2 inches by tomorrow. They cannot feel empathy for other people. They cannot love other people. They cannot become someone else any more than anybody else can. Even the best you could hope for from a narcissist is really no hope at all.